I decided to make this video to give you a little bit more information about my CV coaching call as a service. A lot of people inquire as to whether I write CVs or resumes, and the answer is no, I don't. And there's one reason for that. The reason is I don't believe that anyone is qualified to write your CV or to write your resume. There's one person on this planet that is qualified to do that, and that's you. The difference is with the CV coaching call, I don't write it for you, but I will coach you through how to create a power CV or resume that stands strong in who you are, that shows very clearly the difference you've made in your career and highlights exactly where you are going in your career. And I believe that that is the power behind a CV or a resume that's going to stand out and make a difference. So, what we're going to cover in the CV coaching call, first of all, what we will do is we will book a CV coaching call. We will schedule some time in our calendars. The call duration is anywhere between 60 and 90 minutes. I schedule it for 60 minutes, but I do ask that you keep a little bit of margin in case we need to go over, because there's nothing worse than scheduling a catch-up call because of our schedules not allowing for the time to bleed over a little bit. So that's the call duration. The call itself, I hold my calls on Zoom and I record the call, and I will give you access to a recording of the call if you want to refer back to any of the points that we've discussed for during the call. So that's the mechanics of the call. What do we cover during the CV coaching call? We cover 5 points during the CV coaching call. Point number 1, we look at your existing CV or resume. And what we'll do is we'll do a full debrief together on Zoom about your CV or your resume. I will tell you what's working for you, what's not working for you, what you should change, and I'll give you a strong opinion as to whether it, in its current format, is ATS compliant. That's an important consideration when you're applying for positions. Okay, so number 1, we look at your existing document and we figure out whether it's going to work in its format with a couple of tweaks, or whether you're going to have to move it over to a new CV format. The second point that we discuss is my CV format. Now, I have formatted and formulated this CV template over a number of years, designed to do exactly that, to create a CV that smacks someone in the face, that shows them clearly who you are, the difference you bring to the table, and where you're going. So I'll discuss my CV format, I'll discuss the elements that I've incorporated. We'll work out whether you're going to transcribe across or whether you're going to use your existing and just add the various elements. Another thing in this journey when we're discussing the 2 CV formats is I know the right questions to ask you to extract the value that you've added. Okay, so I'm going to ask you leading questions. What did you do here? What was the outcome there? What are you proud of? Where have you added value? I'm going to ask you those questions with your documentation in front of me. And I'm asking them through the eyes of a recruiter. So you're actually getting really solid guidance in terms of how to map out and how to lay out your CV. A point I want to make before I move on to the next points that are covered in the call is your CV. The important thing about your CV is format, is content, not format, forgive me. So what we put into your document is critical. How it looks and what sort of format you use is almost negligible. Okay, so it really doesn't matter what format you use, provided of course it's ATS compliant, but it's the content that is king, and that's what we're looking for on this call. Right, point number 3 that we cover is I will ask you to bring a job spec or an advert or a vacancy to our call, and we're going to discuss this vacancy. I'm going to teach you how to read an advert vacancy. I'm going to teach you to find the key criteria in this vacancy so that you can tailor your application accordingly. Now, I personally believe in having a strong CV that is 100% you, and you tailor through your cover letter. And that brings us to point number 4. Point number 4, I will supply you with a cover letter template. I will explain the elements of a cover letter, and I will explain how you align your cover letter to that vacancy that you've brought along to the call with you. The 4th and final element that we discuss in the call is what I call a maximization strategy. Now, many of my clients have successfully landed positions by using this maximization strategy. And the key behind the maximize strategy is not that we go past the application process or kind of bounce over people's heads in the process, but that we cut to the heart of who is responsible for the position. I'm going to teach you how to stand out that way. Okay, so those are the 5 points that we discuss in the CV coaching call. You are looking at, like I say, between 60 and 90 minutes, and my lead time is approximately 1 week. I'm generally booked up 1 week in advance, so make sure that you book this call timeously. The last thing I wanted to say to you is once you've finished with the call and you've gone and you've done the changes to your CV or your resume, you submit your resume back to me and I will respond with a review and any additional comments up to 2 times on your changes. Okay, so you've got that access to me to give you a little bit of feedback and a little bit of post coaching call coaching as well. I trust this answers your questions about the CV coaching call, and I'm so looking forward to working with you on this project.